Let's deploy a Hello World contract to the blockchain, in this case the Ethereum blockchain. We're going to go through a number of steps. The first one is to log in to MetaMask. This is a plugin in the browser, and this will give us a context that the other tools can hook into, the Ethereum account. The second thing we will do is to write our contract in the Remix editor, and we will deploy it through there onto the blockchain. We will then review this transaction on Etherscan, and we will verify the code there as well. Now, as a last step, we will use my Ether wallet to invoke one of the functions that we wrote in our contract. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step is to log in to MetaMask. As you can see here, it is this icon on the upper right hand corner. I have already logged in. And now I'm going to navigate to Remix. The address for that is remix.ethereum.org. I have done that already, and you can see the address there across the top. I'm now going to go ahead and create a file to hold my contract. I will call that file hello and say OK. And we're now ready to start writing our contract. I start out by entering the contract keyword. I will then enter the name of the contract, which in this case is hello. I will then write the function. We will only have one function. It is, after all, a Hello World contract. And so I will start to do that. Function get. And what I am returning will be public constant. I'm simply going to return a constant string. And the type of that is string. So I'm going to now write the body of the function, which will simply be return and the string hello world. We're now ready to deploy that contract, and I'm going to do that by clicking on the Run tab on the right hand side. And as you can see here within the top section, it is reading the credentials that I have within MetaMask, and it is using that account as default when I deploy this contract. Now once I click on the create button, I will have a transaction that I need to approve within MetaMask, as there is gas that I need to pay in order to deploy this onto the network. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So you can see there's a little one that appears, and it is asking me to approve. So I am going to go ahead and submit. And you can see here at the bottom that the creation of hello is pending. And you can see also we get these dots. Once that transaction is carried through, if it is successful, we will be able to review it within Etherscan. And there, as you can see, the transaction has completed and the contract has been published. Now we can go ahead and click on the transaction, and as you can see there, we navigate directly to Etherscan, and you can see that a contract was in fact created. I'm going to go ahead and click on that link, and I am going to verify this code. I'll do that by selecting the contract code tab and verifying selecting the verify and publish link. As you can see there, it has the contract address already. I'm going to enter the contract name. In our case, it is hello. The compiler that is being used, I believe, is this one. And the way you can confirm that is by going back to Remix, clicking on the first tab, selecting details, and you can see here compiler, and that is 4.19, and the last 5 characters are 3Bs05. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yep, that looks like the right compiler. And now we need to enter here our Solidity contract, and we can just copy and paste from our editor. Let's go ahead and do that. If you have some arguments that need to be passed into your constructor, we did not write our constructor or are passing in arguments, so we can ignore this component. You can do that. and this is not optimized, so we will select no. And now I have to verify here that I'm not a robot. And after doing so, I am now going to verify and publish. Let's go ahead and click. And we can see that working there. And yes, this has been successful, as you can see there. This is now a verified contract that if anyone else views within Etherscan, they can take a look at the contract code that I have verified. So let's go ahead and take a look at the contract. And as you can see now, the contract has the source code as well as ABI that anybody could use. As a last step, let's go ahead and navigate to my Ether wallet and invoke that function. I'm going to go ahead and enter here my Ether wallet. And we're going to select the contracts tab. It is this one here. And the very first thing that we need is the address of the contract, and that is this one. I'm going to go ahead and enter that. The next thing we need is the ABI. That is this part here. And now we can go ahead and, well, right before I do that, let me make sure I am in the right network, and I am. In this case, I need to be in Rinkeby for Ethereum, and I am. So I'm now going to go ahead and access the contract, and as you can see there, I can select the function that we wrote. So I'm going to go ahead and choose it, and as you can see there, I have called out to this contract that is on the blockchain, and I have executed that method, that function, and the return value is hello world, just as we expected. So this is a full cycle of creating a contract, deploying a contract, calling one of those methods after we have published and verified all of this code in Etherscan. Then we can go ahead and make that call, and so can anyone, since this is a public contract. And this will remain within that blockchain forever, as long as the blockchain exists. So with that, I'll say goodbye.